What is up everyone, how's it going? Hope you're keeping well and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves over the Christmas period over the last couple of days, but if you are an FPL manager, it's still Christmas for us with the gift of another deadline with the GW20 deadline tomorrow morning. Before we get into today's video, 67% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. I managed to reach my 5k goal before Christmas, so once again, thanks again for that, but the next goal is 10k. Hoping to get there before the end of the season, so if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I fared out in Game Week 19, and I'll also look at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of Game Week 20. Stick around also towards the end of the video, where I'll be heading to Boyle Harbour in County Roscommon for my weekly captaincy video also. Right then, that's the intro out of the way, let's get into the video. So looking at my Game Week 19 review, I managed to score 39 points for the game week, which was definitely a disappointing return for the team. Only 4 out of my starting 11 players managed to get themselves a return, so it's definitely a below average week for the team. Looking at some positives from the game week, Solanke managed to grab himself another goal, this time from the spot, so it now means he scored 4 goals in his last 2 game weeks. That's definitely a successful transfer from bringing him in for Haaland. Should really be 5 goals in his last 3, but we won't get into that too much. Another signing, Trent Alexander-Arnold, managed to pick up all 3 bonus points even after picking up a yellow card, so 8 points from that Burnley game was definitely a welcomed return. Liverpool now have a nice run of fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, so hopefully Trent can push on now and keep getting some consistent returns. It wasn't looking great for my Spurs assets after they were trailing 4-0 to Brighton, but with 10 minutes to go, Heung-min Son and Pedro Porro both picked up an assist each, and even after conceding 4 goals, Pedro Porro managed to pick up 2 bonus points, and he's some boy up for that return. The rest of my team had some pretty disappointing returns, and unfortunately I had another captaincy blank with Salah failing to get a return against Burnley. To be fair to him, he was probably unlucky not to score as he hit the bar in the first half, and he probably should have scored, only for a few fine saves from Trafford. Last night was a frustrating watch at the Emirates as a triple Arsenal owner, as them all managed to blank as West Ham beat them 2-0. Saka once again dodged a lot of points as he hit the post in the first half and probably could have scored on a few occasions, only for some fine saves from Areola. If you watched my deadline stream on Tuesday, you would have saw I opted for Gabriel over Trippier, so I was happy out on Tuesday afternoon when Newcastle conceded 3 to Forest, and I was hoping for a clean sheet last night. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, as West Ham scored twice, albeit I still think that ball was out of play for Souček's opener, but it doesn't really matter now, and the both came away at the same number of points. At least Arsenal now have a nice run of fixtures over the next couple of game weeks, so hopefully my double Arsenal defence can get some clean sheets over this run of games. All in all, 39 points of the week was definitely a below average return, and unfortunately it saw me get a red arrow, and I'm now sitting on 198k overall. I've nothing really to be worried about though at the moment, as the team is in good shape and I've got a bench headache now ahead of tomorrow's deadline. With the Game Week 19 review out of the way, let's move on now and see how I'm shaping up ahead of tomorrow's deadline. Before I get into my own Game Week 20 team selection, let's have a look at the clean sheet odds ahead of the weekend's games. It's no surprise to see Man City as the clear leader with a 67% chance of a clean sheet with their home fixture against Sheffield United. However, Man City have failed to keep a clean sheet in their last 8 games. Surely it can't be 9, but I am expecting City to get that clean sheet this weekend. Looking at my own team, fingers crossed it's going to be good news for my Arsenal double defence, with Arsenal ranking 3rd for the chance of a clean sheet with their away fixture against Fulham. Gabriel managed to get on the score sheet in this same fixture last year, so hopefully himself or Saliba can get on the end of a set piece and come away with an attacking return. If they can't get that attacking return, I'll definitely be content with that clean sheet if it does come in. Looking at my other defenders in Pedro Porro and Trent, it's decent viewing as Liverpool and Spurs both finish in the top 8 for the chance for a clean sheet this weekend. It's definitely more likely for a Liverpool clean sheet to come in as they finish in the top 5, and hopefully Trent can come away with a haul against a leggy Newcastle defence. Bournemouth are in a good form at the moment, so definitely wouldn't be surprised to see that Spurs clean sheet getting wiped out by Solanke or another Bournemouth attacker, but Pedro Porro has showed how valuable he is as an FPL asset with 5 assists in his last 8 games, so even when Spurs concede, there's always a chance he can get a return. Looking at predicted points for the weekend's games, Mo Salah tops the charts with a predicted point score of 7.8 points at home to a tired Newcastle this weekend. Newcastle have looked poor over the last couple of game weeks and they're definitely suffering from fatigue, so I'm expecting Liverpool to score a couple of goals and hopefully Salah's involved. There's no surprise to see City players involved in the top 10 with their home fixture against Sheffield United, and 4 of their players make the top 10, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few hauls from the City boys this weekend. Looking at my own team, it's decent viewing as 5 of my players make the top 10 for predicted points this weekend in Salah, Son, Watkins, Trent and Saka, so hopefully I'll see some returns over the course of the game week. So before I get into my own GW20 team selection, we're back again with the viewer questions, and these questions on screen have been the most popular questions I've been asked between Twitter and Instagram ahead of the GW20 deadline. Starting off, the big news this week came from Pep's press conference when he said that Erling Haaland won't be back in the Man City team until January. This means he's going to miss the Sheffield United game this weekend in GW20, so we have to scrap our plans of getting him back into the team and focus our plans elsewhere. It goes without saying, but bringing in Solanke a couple of weeks ago for Haaland was definitely the correct decision. But if you were one of those unfortunate managers who has kept Haaland up until now, to be honest, I'd probably move him on and then bring him back in January, as we don't have a proper timeline, whether it's going to be the start of January or the end of January. I would say though to every FPL manager to make sure they do have a plan in place on how to get Haaland back into their team when he is back fit. Bukayo Saka has been a frustrating own over the last couple of game weeks with 4 blanks in his last 4 game weeks, and because of these 4 blanks, I've been getting a lot of questions on whether or not to sell him or whether to keep him in your team. All I can say is definitely keep Saka. Arsenal face Fulham, Crystal Palace and Forest over the next 3 game weeks, so hopefully Saka can turn on some form and come away with a few returns. With the African Cup of Nations and the Asia Cup also starting in Game Week 21, selling Saka definitely shouldn't be in your thoughts and definitely isn't a priority, so all I can say is definitely keep him in your team. With Erling Haaland ruled out of the Sheffield United fixture this weekend, a popular question amongst FPL managers is which City players you should be looking at for cover for this fixture in Game Week 20. My top priority for City cover for this game would be Alvarez, so if you're an FPL manager that owns Darwin Núñez, I'd be looking at taking out Núñez and bringing in Alvarez for cover for this fixture. We saw in the midweek game against Everton that Alvarez is now on penalties, and I'm predicting the City to score 2 or more goals this weekend, so I'm expecting Alvarez to be amongst the returns. If you're an FPL manager that owns Martinelli, I wouldn't shy away from taking out Martinelli and bringing in Phil Foden to attack this fixture. As I said, I'm expecting City to score 2 or more goals, so I wouldn't be surprised to see their attacking players amongst the returns this weekend. Newcastle have had 2 poor results over the last 2 game weeks, and they now face Liverpool and City over the next 2 game weeks, so a big question amongst FPL managers is what to do with their Newcastle assets. First off, if you own Trippier and you don't own Trent, all I can recommend is doing this transfer, and it's an easy straight swap. Trippier has already decreased in price last night, so I'd advise on doing this before the deadline. If you've got a strong squad of players, I'd highly recommend on benching your Newcastle players for the Liverpool and the Man City game, and then bring them back into your starting 11 from Game Week 22 onwards when Newcastle have a nice run of fixtures. The African Cup of Nations and the Asia Cup both start in Game Week 21, and popular players like Salah, Heung-min Son, Kudos and Hwang will all be heading to these tournaments. First off, if you're looking to bring in any of these players, definitely don't, as they'll be potentially gone from Game Week 21 up until Game Week 24. With very popular players in Mohamed Salah and Heung-min Son heading to these tournaments, you'll have to phase these players out over the coming weeks before you can bring them back in Game Week 24. It's also the perfect time with Erling Haaland coming back fit in January, so you can use the funds from Mohamed Salah and Heung-min Son and take them out and bring Haaland back into your team. Looking at my lineup ahead of the Game Week 20 deadline, I'm pretty happy with my starting 11 now, and Palmer subs back into the team and Gordon makes the bench with his fixture away to Liverpool. It's a 50-50 decision between the keepers, with Dubravka away to Liverpool and Areola at home to Brighton, but with Areola in better form at the moment, Areola earns a spot in goals. With the free transfer saved this week, when Heung-min Son and Mohamed Salah are gone to the African Cup of Nations and the Asia Cup in Game Week 21, I can use my 2 free transfers to bring these out and bring Haaland back into the team if he's declared fit. With the lineup out of the way, let's head to Boyle Harbour and County Roscommon, and let's see who I'm captaining this week in this week's captaincy video.
Right then, Game Week 20, Man City against Sheffield United. Definitely the pick of the fixtures this week. We all know the news that came out. Haaland out until January, so unfortunately he won't be coming into the team. Probably for the better, because Salah against a leggy Newcastle defence would have been a hard watch if I did take him out to bring Haaland in. Heung-min Son also up against Bournemouth. Son in decent form as well, but Bournemouth have got a few nice results over the last few weeks, so bit of a dilemma on the captaincy. Salah or Son, the 2 of them are off to the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations in Game Week 21, so whoever I pick, hopefully they do come away with a return, or potentially, hopefully, a haul as well. We're here in Boyle Harbour, so County Roscommon, back at one of my favourite captaincy videos. Just hitting the sign, hopefully we won't be here too long, but let's see how long it takes. Whoa, cut that, very close. Salah for the armband.
Yeah, with Salah up against a very tired Newcastle defence, he gets the armband, and I'm expecting Liverpool to get a few goals, so hopefully Salah can come away with a haul before he heads off to the African Cup of Nations. You can't really appreciate how that captaincy video turned out when it's zoomed in there on YouTube, but head over to my Instagram where I posted it in real format and you can get a proper look at it. That's how I'm lining up ahead of GW20, so if you made it to the end of the video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 70 likes on this video. If you are still watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button below. I hit my 5k goal before Christmas, as I said at the start of the video. The next goal is 10k, so if you aren't watching this and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and support the channel. I'll be live streaming before the deadline on Saturday morning, so I'll see you all then and we can lock in the team together. There you have it. There's my GW20 team. Best of luck for the game week. I'll see you in the next video.